If the problem you solve is not important to your customer, you're always going to be a nice to have. Good morning, everybody. Today, Ruby and myself are talking about the impact of what the problems your customers have, the jobs that they need to do, are having in their lives, in their work lives, their home lives, whatever your product or service does. If that problem is not consequential and your price point is not a nickel, that means you're nice to have. You are not something that I need. You are something that I want. And in a world today where discretionary spending is, let's call it, challenged, does that have impact? Does that have implications to you as a business and a brand? So, doesn't mean that every product has to be life or death crucial stuff, not at all. But if you want me to buy it, whatever your product or service is, and I don't consider that to be an essential problem to solve, it's nice. It's a nice to have. I'll do it if I have the money. And we're seeing that in that kind of T-shaped economy right now across the globe, where people with money continue to spend money, and people without money, or who are economically challenged right now, are finding more and more things that become nice to haves. And that's shifting the economy significantly in different ways. So the most recent thing I heard was the car industry, the auto industry, the vehicles that are of a certain, let's call it, entry-level brand or entry-level price point, that they're not being purchased right now. And it's not that those people who are their target market are choosing differently. They're opting out. They're not paying at all for these vehicles. And so that has real ramifications on automakers. So these are the things that, if you're not essential, if you're not a must-have, then you're a nice-to-have. And so if you're a nice-to-have, how does that impact what you're trying to do as a business and a brand? Can you help create demand for what you do by sharing the value, the importance, the brand, the things that you do that would be helpful? Or do you highlight how this product or service that you have solves the problems that they have? Now, sometimes those problems might be inconsequential, and it is what it is. But sometimes you just need to remind people that there are solutions to certain problems that they have, and let's talk about the problems, whatever they are. Challenges, issues, jobs, whatever. And that becomes a way to shift the relative importance of what you do to becoming more of a should have than a nice to have. So for today, Ruby says, just have the quality and awareness in your mind to know what that means to your customer. And if you're nice to have, it's not a bad thing fundamentally. Just note that it has real impacts to the demand of your product or service. All right, enough for today. Walking and talking with Ruby.